A quiet shelter, dimly lit with flickering fluorescent lights, had an air of resignation hanging over it. The old German shepherd in the corner kennel hadn't moved much in days. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep, and wouldn't even glance at anyone. It was as if he had given up on the world, staring endlessly at the door as if waiting for someone who would never return. Time passed, and the people at the shelter couldn't understand his behavior. They didn't know what to do with him. His coat, once magnificent and strong, now looked lackluster, and his eyes, tired but full of a strange, unyielding hope, seemed to say it all. They called him Shadow. Each day people walked past his kennel, mostly choosing younger dogs with more energy. Some of the staff made an effort, offering treats and kind words, but Shadow would just look away, his heart burdened by years of loyalty that had gone unnoticed. He wasn't just another old dog, he was a forgotten hero. One morning, everything changed when Officer Ryan Cole walked through the door. It wasn't the first time he had visited the shelter, but this time something was different. Ryan had heard about Shadow and felt a connection he couldn't explain. He walked down the aisle past barking dogs, some excited for a chance to be chosen, but as he reached the farthest corner, his eyes met those of the old German shepherd. There was no barking, no wagging tail, just an intense gaze that locked with his own. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Ryan had seen that look before, in the eyes of soldiers, in the eyes of his old partner, and now, in the eyes of this loyal canine. The shelter worker, Claire, came up behind him, softly explaining Shadow's history. "He's a retired police dog," she said, her voice carrying a note of sadness. "He was once part of a great team, but now no one wants him." Ryan knelt down, his heart heavy with sympathy. The dog's history was tragic, but that wasn't the only thing that weighed on Ryan. There was something in Shadow's eyes, something beyond sadness. It was as if Shadow knew something, a secret that had yet to be uncovered. As Claire turned to walk away, Ryan remained at Shadow's side, his hand gently reaching through the bars of the kennel. Shadow's eyes never left him, but for the first time, the dog's posture softened. A tiny glimmer of hope sparked in his eyes, and Ryan knew, at that moment, that this wasn't just another dog waiting to be adopted. This was a dog who had waited a lifetime for someone to finally understand him. Ryan spent a few more minutes with Shadow, trying to learn more about his past, but it was clear that Shadow's trauma ran deep. Claire revealed that Shadow had been brought in from the police department after being retired. The dog's handler, a respected officer named Matt Hale, had mysteriously disappeared, leaving Shadow behind. No one from the department had come to retrieve the dog or even check on him. Ryan's heart sank. How could an officer, someone who had dedicated his life to the job, just abandon his partner like that? Determined to find answers, Ryan made it his mission to uncover the truth about Shadow's past and why he had been left in the shelter. What he discovered sent chills down his spine. The more he dug, the more he realized that Shadow's situation was far from ordinary. The police department had claimed Shadow's handler had retired, but there were whispers of something darker. There were reports of corruption within the department, allegations that Matt Hale had been on the verge of uncovering a criminal operation involving high-ranking officers. The night Matt disappeared, Shadow had been by his side, and Ryan began to suspect that Matt had been silenced. Shadow had been left to carry the burden of his handler's disappearance, and now it was up to Ryan to uncover the truth. Ryan's investigation led him to the abandoned warehouse where Matt and Shadow had once worked. As he retraced their steps, he began to uncover pieces of the puzzle, each one more disturbing than the last. He found clues that pointed to foul play, a struggle, signs of a fight, and a discarded police badge. Ryan knew that Shadow had witnessed the worst that night, and the memory still haunted the dog. The deeper Ryan dug, the more he realized that Shadow wasn't just a victim, he was a key witness. The dog's loyalty to his handler was unwavering, and now it was Ryan's turn to be loyal to Shadow. With the evidence in hand, Ryan confronted his superiors, demanding that they reopen Matt Hale's case. As the truth came to light, it became clear that someone within the department had orchestrated Matt's disappearance to protect their own illegal activities. But it wasn't just the department that had failed Shadow, it was the entire world. The same world that had cast him aside, as if he were nothing more than a broken tool. Ryan couldn't stand by and let that happen. Shadow had risked his life countless times to protect others, and now it was Ryan's turn to protect him. With a newfound sense of purpose, Ryan took Shadow in. The dog wasn't just a retired police canine, he was a hero who had been unjustly abandoned. And with that, Ryan made a promise to Shadow: "I will never leave you behind." Together, they exposed the corruption within the department, bringing the truth to light and ensuring that Matt Hale's memory would not be forgotten. The day that Shadow was finally free from the chains of his past, he found peace in Ryan's company. No longer was he the forgotten hero sitting alone in a shelter. He was part of a family, a team, and a partner once again. Shadow had lived through more than most people could ever understand. But in the end, it wasn't just his loyalty that made him special. It was the way he taught Ryan the true meaning of dedication, love, and sacrifice. As Ryan and Shadow walked side by side, the world began to change around them. Shadow had finally found a home, a place where he was loved, valued, and understood. And for the first time in a long time, Shadow felt at peace.